Welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about quadratic functions. So we're going to talk about quadratic functions and how to solve quadratic equations. That is what we're going to talk about. So now when you're solving quadratic functions, we have to understand that there are methods that we usually use in order for you to solve a quadratic function. Remember, in the previous video, if you didn't watch the previous video, you can go and watch the previous video. In the previous video, we talked about factorization as well. So we talked about how to solve factorization in linear functions. Those are linear functions where you have been given, for example, x squared and then minus 4. So these are linear functions. Yeah, so that's what we talked about. And then now, apart from that, today we are talking about these quadratic functions. So we are talking about quadratic functions. That's what we're talking about. Now, in this quadratic function, you have to know that this is the function that you have been given. So in this function, it's not always that you can use factorization method in order for you to solve this function. There are three other methods, which is apart from factorization, we have got also completing the square method, and apart from completing the square method, we have got also formula method, the method that we usually use where we use a formula. So those are the methods that we're going to talk about. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about the completing the square, and in the other video we're going to talk about also how to solve the quadratic function using the formula. But in this video, we are talking about factorization, how to solve this linear function, how to solve this quadratic function, using a factorization method. That's the method that we're going to use. Okay, so let's start. They have said solve this quadratic function, which is negative 3x squared. So we have been given negative 3x squared minus 7x minus 4 equals 0. That's the function that we have been given, which is the quadratic function. So this function, you notice that in this function we have got three terms. We have got this first term, and also we have got this second term, and also we have got that last term, which is a constant. So we have got negative 3x squared, which is our first term. We have got negative 7x, which is our second term, and we have got negative 4, which is our third term. So we have got three terms. So the one which has got x squared, we are going to name it as a. So that is our a term. And then the one with without a square, which is it has got x to the power, it can be x to the power 1, that is our b. And then the one which has got no x, it's just a constant, that is our c. So these are the terms that we have. So from these terms, we're going to come up with, first of all, we're going to come up with the coefficients. That's what we're going to come up with. So the coefficients, we are going to say, let me write them here. So we're going to say a is equal to, so our coefficient of a is this one, this number, which is negative 3. That is our coefficient of a. And then the coefficient of b, is negative 7. So we have got negative 7. And then the coefficient of c, we have got which is negative 4. So these are the things that we have. These are the numbers that we have in that quadratic function. Now, after having these numbers in this quadratic function, the first thing that we're supposed to do when you're factorizing, when you're using the factorization method, we have to find the product, sum, and factors. So those are the things that we're going to find first. So we are going to say we are going to find the product. Let me write it. The product. So how do we find the product? The product, we find it by multiplying the coefficient of a multiplied by the coefficient of b, or of c, sorry. So the coefficient of c, that is the one that we usually find for us to find the product. So the coefficient of a, we have got negative 3, so we have got negative 3, and then we are going to multiply by, which is the coefficient of B, of C, I mean, we have got negative 4. So we are going to, when you multiply this, it will give us our product, which will be this times that, it will give us 12. So that is our product. After coming up with our product, we're going to come up with our sum. So we are going to have sum. So the sum in this case, we just get the B, the coefficient which is on B, that's what we get. So the coefficient which is on B is negative 7. That's what we have. And then after that, we're going to come up with our factors, because that's the reason why it is called factorization. So we are going to come up with our factors. So where are these factors going to come from? These factors are going to come from the numbers which can go into this product, which is our 12, without leaving a remainder. So the numbers which can go into this 12 without leaving a remainder, those are our factors. So I was saying our factors, which is, we have got 1 can go into 12, we have got 2 can go into 12, we have got 3 can go into 12, we have got 4 can go into 12 3 times, and then we have which is 6 can go into 12, and we have the last one, which is 12 itself. So from these factors that we have come up with, we are going to come up with 2 factors. We're going to just choose 2 factors from these. Those 2 factors, when we multiply them, they should give us the product. When we add them, they should give us our sum, because sum is addition and product is multiplication. So in this case, we are going to come up with those 2 numbers, because these are the 2 numbers when you multiply them, they can give us 12, and then when we add them, they can give us 7, but they can't give us negative 7. So what are we going to do for us to give us negative 7? So we're going to say it will give us negative 3 and also negative 4. So these are our factors. So negative 3 multiplied by negative 4, it will give us positive 12. Negative 3 plus negative 4, it will give us negative 7. So those are our factors. So after we come up with those factors, now we are going to come up with this quadratic function. So from this function, we have dealt with this area here. That is where we're going to replace these factors that we have found. So we're going to rewrite it. We're going to say negative 3x squared, negative 3x squared. So negative 3x squared, and then this is minus 3, so it is starting with the negative, minus 3, and then it has to be accompanied with x, so minus 3x, and then there's minus 4, which is again x, and then from there we have got minus c, 4 is equal to 0. That's what we have. So in this case, when we say negative 3x minus 4x to give us negative 7x, so we have splitted this negative 7x into 2. That's what we have. So that the reason why we split them, so that we can have we can factorize 2 terms, and this side 2 terms as well. So to factorize these terms, this side which we have got the common term here, we have got negative, so it's negative 3x, that's a common one, or the factor in short. And then we can open the bracket, you can say negative and negative cancels, which is positive. 3 into 3, 1, x into x squared, we're going to remain with x there. So that when you say negative 3x multiplied by x, it will give us negative 3x squared. Negative and negative are going to have a positive, and then 3 into 3, 1, x into x, 1. So it is 1 there, we close. That's our common factor. And then to the other side, we have got negative, which is our common factor there, it is 4. And then we open the brackets, we're going to say negative and negative, positive. 4 into 4, 1, which we're going to remain with x, this side. And then negative and negative, it will give us positive. 4 into 4, it will give us 1. And then it will give us equal to 0. And then from there now, we have got we have got these numbers which are in brackets, or the terms which are in brackets, they are the same, so it's quite okay. So we have to group now the terms which are outside. So we are going to get this term and also that term, we put them together. We are going to have, put them in one bracket, so we're going to have negative 3x and then minus 4 to the other side, and then to the other side we're going to have x, we're going to pick one of that, x plus 1, that's what we're going to have, and then it will give us 0. So if we were just factorizing, if there was no 0 this side, if it wasn't a quadratic function, for example, or if it was a quadratic function but there is no 0 here, we could have ended here. That's where we could have ended. But now, since it's a quadratic function, we are supposed to, they have said solve. So we are supposed to solve finding the values of x. So how do we find the values of x? We are going to split this into 2. So we're going to say 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. That's 1. And then we're going to say or x plus 1 equals 0. That's what we have. So we have got that, and then we can start solving them. So we can start solving them. How are we going to solve them? We're going to group the like terms. So we're going to have 3x, negative 3x is equal to, once the negative 4 crosses this sign, it changes to positive 4, so it will have 4 there. And then or we are going to say this side, or, which is we group the like terms this side. So x is equal to, once this positive crosses the equal sign, changes to negative 1. So x is negative 1, the first one. And then the second one, we're going to remain with x. For us to remain with x, we're going to divide both sides by 3, even the other side by 3. So 3 cancels, or negative 3, sorry, negative 3 cancels. And then after that, we're going to remain with x is equal to negative 4 over 3. That's what we're going to remain with. So that's what we usually do in terms of factorization. That's how they factor, that's how they factorize. So if you're not clear, you can pause the video and go through, or you can watch the next video for more examples. So we're going to do more examples. See you in the next video.